Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and welcome to another Mortal Kombat video. Now today it's going to be a little bit different to what I normally do, and we're going to go through an article that talks about the apparent characters that will actually be in the Mortal Kombat movie. Now of course, if you haven't already heard, this has actually been debunked by the producer, Todd Garner, and he said nothing is happening with the movie at this time, so all news is premature. So really nothing actually does seem to be happening with the movie, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is the article that's come out is now something that we all know is complete and utter schlock, but it's also a bad thing for Mortal Kombat fans. As for one, we didn't get a teaser for MK11 for next year. Two, we haven't had a Mortal Kombat theatrical film release since 1997. Not that the last one was anything to lose your mind over, I tell you that for sure. And three, it's been in the developmental pipeline for a very long time. And this can normally go one of two ways. The film gets abandoned altogether before it can even kind of go into development, or the film is made and it's kind of incompetently put together. And considering that video game films in general don't really have a great reputation going on for them, something like this isn't really too good of a sign. But back in 2015, James Wan did actually sign on to the production, and he's worked on the Insidious series, and generally has a rather good reputation behind him. So his experience from working in the horror genre could in fact pay some influence for what we can see, as thematically it may be more horror-esque, and may in fact take on more of a serious and dark tone, which is something that the series could do with, as let's face it, Mortal Kombat Annihilation kind of tried to take itself seriously, and it kind of came across as overall campy and, well, shit.
You're alive. Too bad you will die.
So James Wan's influence could most certainly pave the way for quite a interesting film. However, he is just a producer. The director on the other hand, Simon McQuoid, is however something that is quite worrying. He was picked up back in 2016, and Simon himself has only had experience in doing trailers. Now might I say that his trailers are genuinely pretty damn good. However, there is a massive difference between filming a 4-minute commercial and a 90-minute long film. It does somewhat raise a red flag. On top of this, the film was actually given a green light back in 2011, and nothing's really going on with it even up until now. So I'm saying this in advance because I don't want fans to get their hopes up, much like Mortal Kombat 11. There haven't even been any details on the casting. So what I'm saying for now, be aware that it's in production, but nothing right now is definitely guaranteed. As do remember, producers, directors and actors also have other commitments to other films. So the people that we currently see on the project right now may change in all due time. Anyway, on that note, let's go to a much more humorous side of things, which is basically this article, as it's pretty damn appalling, and boy, will it make your blood boil if this was actually a thing. Now I actually haven't read this article, but I've been hearing very negative things about it. So what you're gonna see here is my first impressions of it. Okay, I just quickly skim read over the first 2 paragraphs, and it's like the most edgy stuff you read on the back of DVD covers. Listen to this. Crack your knuckles and choose your best fighter, because we're about to head back into the combat action of the Mortal Kombat franchise. Producer James Wan and New Line Cinema were previously closing in on a director for their Mortal Kombat reboot film, and now we have more details about the cast of the film thanks to the arrival of the official character breakdown. According to the hashtag show, the new film is set to have a new star called Cole Turner. That's like the most generic character name ever. I'm sorry, every time I hear the word Turner, I think of Light Turner from that really bad Netflix Death Note film. Alright, I'm gonna go back to my epic voice because I just quickly skim read over this and it just seems right. Cole is a struggling boxer from Philadelphia who gets more than he bargained for when he signed up to take part in a martial arts tournament across dimensions. So now we're on to character breakdowns, and this is gonna be something by the sounds of things. Cole Turner, lead male, 30s, a brand new character to the MK franchise. Cole is a struggling and widowed boxer who cares more about his young daughter than anything. He's incredibly determined and refuses to quit in the face of fantastical adversity. So by the sounds of things, this character was supposed to be generic, and I guess the character that the audience was supposed to relate to the most. And by the sounds of things, he ticks the box of every single kind of typical hero thing, despite there being other characters who can easily take on the main lead role. Like, I don't know, Liu Kang from the first Mortal Kombat movie. movie. Just saying. Okay, next we have Kano, the large, rugged Australian ex-Special Forces turned merc for hire. He is arrogant and impetuous, but a tremendous fighter. I mean, that sounds like a really bare bones version of Kano. I guess he is playing a support role, but still, I feel like it'd be better if there was more homages to the games. Because let's face it, if this was actually real, the main demographic of your audience is going to be fans of the franchise. You don't want to shit on them. Plus, I see no mention of his ties to the Black Dragons. So yeah, basically, this would be a very watered down version of Kano. Sonya Blade, supporting lead females, 30s, the beautiful brainy blonde writer, come on, seriously? Who chases the prophecy of Mortal Kombat. She recruits Cole and fights bravely and selflessly for a team she can only be a part of once. She earns a medallion in combat. But the basic gist that I'm actually kind of getting from this is that Sonya Blade, by the sounds of things, is most likely going to become Cole Turner's love interest in the film. Yeah, this is basically watered down and atrocious Sonya Blade. This isn't even Sonya Blade. This is blonde love interest number 227, who's pretending to act like a strong female role in this film. That's completely not a trash. Let's actually go on to the next character. Jin / Lord Raiden. I already don't like where this is going. Male, 14, the immortal thunder god and protector of Earthrealm, who leads and trains the team in the underworld. Underworld? I mean, do I really need to say anything about this one? I mean, if he's legally 14, he's not even allowed to drive or drink. If he's immortal, why is he 14? What is he gonna do to stop Outworld? Defeat them with his teenage angst? Jesus, this is the worst one so far. Yeah, this is getting progressively worse as I'm going on, and you guys are probably enjoying it, which is, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Melina, female, 25 to 35, a drop-dead gorgeous woman that's part of the Outworld side. She wears a sheer gown over thigh-high boots, and a revealing one piece with a veil that covers her nose and mouth. I mean, for the most part, that does capitalize some of what Melina is, but what worries me is the lack of the Tokatin teeth, which fundamentally does kind of play into the character's personality. Without that, she's basically sex appeal on legs, and that, by the sounds of things, is what they're going for here. There's not a lot of information with any of these, but this just seems like a very hollowed out interpretation of who Melina is. Jackson Jax Briggs, male, 30 to 40. Jax is a strapping mercenary / military officer who loses both of his hands in an attack, and then joins Sonya and Cole to fight the Outworld. The Outworld, people. Again, much like the others, this is a very watered down version of Jackson Briggs. Obviously supposed to be a side character, but I mean, they don't even mention his cybernetic enhancements. And it says he loses both of his hands, not his arms. What is he gonna do, hit them with stumps? Liu Kang, male, 20 to 35, a fire-throwing ninja warrior who is a talented Earthrealm champion. I mean, if he's the champion, why isn't he the main character? And why is he a ninja? I don't ever remember Liu Kang wearing any form of ninja attire in the game. Oh boy, this just keeps getting better. Right under there's Kung Lao, male, 25 to 35, the mute warrior monk brother of Liu Kang, who wields an all-powerful boomerang hat. I mean, even in game they referred to it as a razor-rimmed hat. This is honestly just ridiculous now. Great, now we're on to Shang Tsung. Now from what we've already read, let's play a little game. What is Shang Tsung going to turn out like? A 10-year-old with a mental capacity of a frog. B, some Sun Wukong looking mofo. Or C, Hanzo from Overwatch. And if you're picking A or any of the few that are below, you are still putting your expectations far too high. Shang Tsung, male, no age specific, the Grand Sorcerer of Outworld, whose presence is a storm cloud of dark energy. His ever-changing roulette of faces unfurls an evil smile. You know what I think when I hear presence, evil dark storm cloud of dark energy? I think of Galactus from those atrocious Fantastic Four films. And this so far actually sounds worse than that. You want me to tell you the worst part? There's still more characters for me to talk about on this. Dramin, male, 25 to 35, an Oni devil mask over his face. His body is composed of twisted, sinewy skin. A heavy spiked club replaces one arm. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much accurate for Dramin, and I guess since he is technically the villain here, they don't really have to have too much character, but I mean, at least Dramin sounds accurate. Gobol, male, 25 to 35, an evil assassin of Outworld. He's outfitted in a black armored vest and trench coat. His entire head is covered by a scarred black respirator. His signature weapons are two razor-sharp hook blades. I guess we're going 2 for 2. I mean, Cabal has way more character than that, and this is bare bones, but I mean, at least this doesn't feel like an OC character. I feel like reading this is making my expectations for any other characters that I read about extremely low. Natara, female, 25 to 35, a black-haired vampire of Outworld. 2 massive leathery bat wings protrude from her bare shoulders. Fresh blood drips from her fangs. I mean, again, that's like really bare bones for for the character and really generic, but I mean that at least sounds a bit like Nitara. Reiko, male, 25 to 40, an ironclad outworld general with white glowing eyes. He drags a massive warhammer with him. I mean, it seems like the antagonists in this actually sound like their game counterparts, except for the fact that they're extremely watered down. But I mean, it sounds much better than some of the alterations that have happened to the main characters if this were real. Plus, antagonists in most films tend to not have a lot of background around them, so I'm willing to kind of give these antagonists with barely no character a somewhat pass. But as for the other characters, the reimagining is just insulting. Now, there are only a few remaining ones, and it's the Overseer, Emily, Sophia, and Jess, but they're all tied to Cole and that whole ridiculous nonsense. Overseer is basically what Raiden should be, Emily's Cole's dumb kid, Sophie's generic ex-wife, and Jess's typical upset, stuck-up sister-in-law who doesn't like Cole and thinks her sister can do better. Again, most generic stuff possible. So from what you can tell, I'm extremely happy this got debunked, because if this actually came to fruition, the backlash would be insane. I mean, they don't even have the poster children of the series down, and no involvement of Kitana, who's always played a key part in Melina's storyline. So I'm glad this horrible put together schlop got deconfirmed, because this would be a dumpster fire. But yeah guys, that pretty much sums up everything I did want to say in this video. I hope for the most part you enjoyed it, especially the parts where we both suffered together through this terrible dribble. But on a serious note, I'm really looking forward to another Mortal Kombat movie. I'm understandably very worried, but I do want it to be done right. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this guys, even if it was rather painful. So down in the comments below actually, let me know what are your thoughts on the Mortal Kombat movie. What would you like to see? Would you like a cinematic universe to be made out of it? Would you like it to be just one film? I'm interested to hear what everyone has to say about it. So yeah guys, before this video wraps up, if possible, let's try getting it to about 500 likes. It's a great way of helping out this channel since YouTube's ad system is broken as hell. So by giving it a thumbs up, it helps out a ton. And if you want to go the extra step, we also have a Patreon set up, and a link for it will be down in the description below. Anyway, as always guys, please comment, like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care, and I'll see you all next time.